I know this movie is credited to two very, very good screenwriters, Lee Hall and Richard Curtis. Did you have particular marching orders for them about, how you wanted the story told, or can you talk a little bit about what they brought to it?
Well, I wanted Joey to be able to touch more lives than either the book or the stage play did. I wanted Joey to frequent the lives on both sides. So we spent more time with, and my main writer on this was Richard Curtis. He worked on the film script for months, and then he was on the set a lot when we were shooting the picture in England. And I also really feel that I love writers, and I think that they can always bring a kind of new perspective for me simply by introducing a new idea right in the middle of the movie, right in the middle of the shoot, and by getting a new idea for me, which is the one big idea was the two young boys, the two young German boys that find Joey, that sort of and Topthorn, and rescue them both, and they themselves are looking for a way. The older brother is looking for a way to fulfill a promise he made to his father to take the younger brother, 14 years old, out of the war, to a terrible consequence. And scenes like that were never in the first draft. I mean, there's a lot more that a lot more characters Joey interacts with in the film that you just saw.
Okay, let's take a couple of questions from our audience here in New York. Does anyone have a question? Do we have our?
Yeah. I don't know. We have microphones. Or?
Do we have our microphone guys? Okay, we'll try to
shout out. There's a person right there.
I'd just be curious to hear about your conversation with Janusz. What were some of your inspirations? What were those conversations?
The question.
The question is about Mr. Spielberg's relationship with his director of photography, Janusz Kaminski.
Well, Janusz and I have worked together since Schindler's List. We've done every movie I've ever made since Schindler's List. And like my experience and relationship with John Williams, we also have a shorthand. My general, feeling about, cinematography is I want a cinematographer that knows how to bend light. And Janusz can bend light better than anybody I've ever worked with before in my career. And, it's my job to set the camera, choose the lens, and decide how to block the shot with the actors. And then Janusz comes in and he has to bring an entirely new visual narrative to the movie, which is how do you light it, and how can the lighting help tell the story? And he's a genius at storytelling through lighting.
Okay, we're going to take a question now from our audience in Miami, Florida. The question is, how many scripts do you see until you find one as good as this one? And I think there's a good way to elaborate on this, which is, how much work does a script go through after you see it and decide you're interested in it?
Well, there's a lot of scripts that I work on that I wind up never directing. Some of them go into my company and they're produced and they're made into movies, and some of them just disappear or get put in something we call turnaround. They go back to the writer. But a lot of drafts. I just believe in that every movie has. You can't start a movie by having the attitude that the script is finished. Because if you think the script is finished, your movie is finished before the first day of shooting. To me, it's fluid. It's always it's a living organism. A movie script is a living, breathing organism. And it must change as we change daily. And that means the script has to be available for an actor who has a great idea and comes to me, and I go to the writer, we work the idea in. So in that sense, WarHorse probably went through about 25 revisions within the 4 months of shooting in England.